Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Tim from the Camp Compound and let's get right to it. In front of us we have Bitcoin on the 1-day chart, and the obvious question in everyone's mind is, was this the end of the bear market? Well, in order to answer that, I want to take you through a couple of phases, because what we generally see is we have a actually let's grab Bitstamp rather than Binance. There we go. In order to answer this question properly, there are a couple of things that you need to know. Because here we very obviously have a bull market, here we very obviously have a bear market, but then there is kind of that bit in between. So here we can toss this out. So here, clearly going up, clearly going down, but then what do we have right here? This is kind of the purgatory in between. So here we have a bull, here we have a bear, and here we have purgatory, also known as a bison market, because a bison charges forward. So personally, what I think is that if Bitcoin is able to close properly and to keep the support at, well, let's say 19,000, if you can keep above that, there is a decent chance that if I take all of this away, that we have seen a bull market. It's a little bit extended. That's one. Then we have bear market, and now we could start moving into purgatory before we continue upwards. So that is kind of what we're seeing here as well, because you have run up, run down, sideways. And first we have a tiny run upwards. Of course, this went pretty high, relatively speaking. I think Bitcoin right now will probably get stuck somewhere here around that 30,000, because that is a really tough nut to crack. That's a really tough resistance right there. So we may just move up. Of course, the next major point is at 24,500, where we got rejected before, which also served as somewhat of almost a support. But that is kind of what we're seeing next. That is what we're looking at. So now, if we continue backwards, if we continue and go back towards the daily chart, then we will see, here we are, that Bitcoin has made a perfect run up. However, now it is kind of slowing down, and rather than consolidating here downwards or sidewards, it is going up a little bit, and that is generally not what you want to see, because that means that bulls are still trying to continue upwards but are failing to actually get anywhere, because this is not a great move upwards. We would rather have seen it go sideways or down in a 45-degree angle, not any sharper, because then the chances are too high of just starting a downtrend. But what we do really want to see is we want to see Bitcoin hold 19,000 at the very least. So this one right here, this is our big one, the one that we have to keep. That's why I'll make it a different color. I want to keep that one, and then we can continue onwards, because that is kind of the range that we've held since June approximately. So this is a very important one. We have had a deviation below. Hopefully that will depend on the next coming weeks, but this is really the major point. We might just keep 20,000. That would be very nice if we can, but this is a minor one. So 19,000 definitely. If we go below that, there's a good chance that we will still continue down lower. So is the bear market over? Still a little early to say. We could still continue downwards. If we have a really hard reject here, then we could continue back down towards that 15,000, 16,000. And if we continue upwards to 30,000, so 29,000 to 30,000, and have a very violent rejection there, we could still continue down lower. Those are the two main cases for continuing bear market. Otherwise, I would say that slowly but surely sentiment is improving, unless something really, really bad happens in the market over the coming months. So that is it for the moment for Bitcoin. Hopefully that is kind of gives you a bit of peace, gives you a bit of an idea of what to do over the next couple of days, weeks, and months. I would personally wait for a retrace in the market to make any new positions. So there's that. Let's have a quick look at Ethereum, which is basically doing the same thing currently. We just see, especially on the 4-hour that Ethereum is making a bearish channel like this. It's not perfect, but it is close enough to say should probably take care, meaning that Ethereum could fall all the way back down towards, let's say, there, towards this trend line, test it as a support again. Well, we did that here as well, so could be that we just see this general area here as a support, but that would be 1300, kind of similar to Bitcoin and 19,000, so be aware of that. It is not just the up only season just yet. Don't FOMO too hard, especially not right now, because the market is telling us, hey, be careful, we've had a long run, and what do you do after a long run? You take a breath, you stretch, and you kind of relax for a moment. So that is kind of what I expect the market to do currently. Probably will take altcoins with it. So Solana here as well, you can, yeah, this is more of a wedge. I was gonna say it is kind of a consolidation pattern, but it's not incredibly clear. Because it's not clear, it could still continue and shoot up towards a 28 if it breaks out to the upside, but that's a bit iffy. So Solana is actually a bit of a case apart. DYDX, for instance, this is what we would have wanted to see in Bitcoin, for instance. Here you have a beautiful run up, and then you have an approximate 45-degree angle down, meaning that there is still movement or room for movement up. Now, do take care, because DYDX has a big token unlock in about a month. We've talked about it extensively, just keep that in mind. And here as well you see that ADA on the 4-hour is showing somewhat of a consolidation, which could still lead to a further bump upwards. So what might happen is we might see Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of starting to crash in a little bit, have the rest of the altcoins have one more bump up, and then kind of retrace and see where we end up, see what kind of support we can make and what prices we can kind of cement. That's the important thing. We want to see some support, we want to see some proper floors that we can jump off of to the next level. That is the really important part. So do take care. We've taken a lot of very nice profits over the past couple of days, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.